Hello, it's me again. We're back at my house. It's Sunday, and I just thought I would record a short video to get you going into the third week of the class. I had a question from Gina. She just wanted to get a better sense about what the expectation of the essay is, what I'm looking for. Now, I thought my instructions were pretty clear, and I gave you a rubric that says exactly how I will be assessing it. But in a nutshell, the arguments that you looked at in the textbook are 15 years old, and a lot has happened. One of the things I would like you to all do is to take a look at an article that's very good at just sort of pros and cons, what's working, what's not working with globalization. And it's one that Brianna actually pointed out in her discussion this week, so thank you for that. And it's called The Pros and Cons of Globalization, and it can be found at Forbes magazine online. You can just Google it, but she actually provided a link. Globalization has two faces, really. It's got the cultural face of globalization, which is touched on in two of the articles, and it's got the economic face. And this article in Forbes goes through the things that were the promises of globalization and what actually happened, what's working and what's not working, right? So these articles are from 2002. NAFTA was only being implemented for a few years. Nobody knew how that was going to work out. We just had 9/11. We hadn't gone through the war in Iraq. We hadn't gone through Brexit or the bringing together of the EU, which happened in 1999. So the EU had only been going for a few years when the articles in your textbook were published. Now, 15 years later, Britain is leaving. It's possible, depending on who wins the election in France, France might be going. Our incoming president says he's going to renegotiate NAFTA because he believes that it has cost Americans jobs and it has lowered Americans' wages and hurt the middle class. Guess what? He's kind of right. And so we're going through this huge change right now about how we think about trade, our role in the world as world economic leaders. And so what you need to do is take a careful look at globalization in this country, in the world, and then update these arguments for the next edition of the textbook. Do you think globalization is working? Is it not working? Would you change it? Would you improve it? What would you do with it? As far as the cultural aspect, and not just dealing with the economic aspect, Helena, in her article, March of the Monoculture, came down very hard about globalization damaging cultures. Well, that's one side of it. The other side is you take a look at countries that had very few economic opportunities, whose people were impoverished, who now have opportunities for their own families, for more prosperity. The government has more money due to the change in economic status to build infrastructure, to offer free education to the citizens. Even the people, the tribal community in India that she was writing about, well, it's nice to say they would have been better off without Western influence, but tell that to the mother whose child got vaccinated, who has educational opportunities that they didn't have before, who sees the benefits of electricity and clean water, right? So on one hand, you could argue, yes, it's damaging what the culture was, but do you think the people in that culture would want to go back and give up all the things that the globalization has given them at this point? That's a tough argument. So see what culturally, if you can identify some countries who have prospered through globalization, and take a look and see, has it improved the lives of the citizens in those countries? So that's a good way to update if you want to focus on the cultural aspects. Okay, now this is the part where the rubber meets the road. I want to talk about what's happening this week. I gave you guys a pretty light discussion. This week you're just going to be watching a video and tying the ideas of the video back to the first essay I had you read for week 1. I want to point out that the topic of the video is President Obama. I'm not looking for a partisan answer. I'm looking you to stay focused on the direction of the argument in the class, which is rhetoric and democracy. Okay? I'm not looking for people to praise or denigrate Obama no matter how you feel about it. Just keep the argument focused. After that, I just want to remind you that I've opened up 2 discussion forums for you that are optional. One is a place for you to work collaboratively with each other and share what you're doing. And the other one is an opportunity for you to get pre-grading feedback from me. So if you're feeling a little nervous about where you are with your essay and you want to know if you're on the right track, that is where you would want to post your draft. Now, don't post a page. I won't be able to do much except say this needs more development. But if you've got a rough draft that you feel like you want some actual instructive pre-grading feedback, this is your one opportunity to get it. I also would recommend that you take advantage of the tutors in the Writing Center if you can. Remember, you still have that Ask a Librarian feature, and there's also online tutoring available within Canvas for you to get additional help there. Finally, I just want to remind you that you have to use the MLA template when you turn in your work. Any essay submitted that is not using the template that I provided will be returned ungraded, and then you will have to resubmit it, and it will be counted late. So please just download that template now if you haven't already. One final note, and this is the final note, you do have the option of a one-time, no penalty, 24-hour extension on this assignment. So if you feel like you're not ready with it and you still need more work, don't feel like you have to turn in work that you're not comfortable with. You can ask for the extension. You don't have to tell me why, and you'll have it. I do have office hours. So far, I've only had 1 student come, but I will be in my office on Thursday from 1 to 4 o'clock at the Olympia campus. If you want to come and talk to me, I'd be happy to meet with you. So that's the only thing I had for this week. Good luck. Keep working on those essays, and I'll see you online.